how far, how good it go, how is Nigeria? Because at this point, like when I blow, let nobody say that is it not my kind of yesterday. We are going to be talking about childhood traumas, generally what we had to deal with as Nigerians living with our Nigerian parents. I'm sure that my parents loved me. I lost my sister. I'm a very shy person. But once I get the microphone, I grew up in the house where when you hear my father coming, everybody runs to their room. If you're a parent listening to this, your children cannot be perfect. I was a very strong-willed child. I can still remember it like yesterday. It was horrible. I can still remember the drive. I kept crying and crying. I can remember how people trolled me in school that currently I actually have to rewire. I decided to start a business. My dad did not speak to me for a year. I'm talking about having difficult conversations with your children, conversations surrounding sex, childbirth. How do parents move from if a man sneezes on you, you get pregnant? How do they move from that slowly to you are 25 years, where is your husband? I knew about sex in biology class. Just being a friend, a good friend to your child knowing that there's this safe place that I have, that no matter what, mom is there for me, dad is there for me. A parent is a father or a mother, the role of a guardian. This one really hurts me. I can't stay in my parents' house for more than 24 hours. Bad memories, bad energy, bad vibe. There's no handbook for being a parent, for being a perfect parent. But all I can say is, hi, my loves. Gosh, what's happening today? What's Hi, my loves, our regular ritual. I like tapping my mic. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is me, literally, Makan Ekanem. How far? How are you doing? What's going on? How good it go? How is Nigeria? Because at this point, I wanted to change my topic and make it about Nigeria and how Nigeria is frustrating us, even when I'm not in Nigeria. My name is Makane Kanem. I'm a YouTuber, a Nigerian YouTuber based in Porto, Portugal. Welcome to my channel. Welcome. It feels so good. See, a lot has been happening behind the scenes. I am filming right now and I'm looking at the rain. It is seriously raining cats and dogs. It has been raining since yesterday, non-stop. I've been looking for an avenue to film and I haven't found any. And I'm just going to make do with what I have. This video has to come out by 7 p.m. Guys, it is currently 5:02. Can you see? I'm working overtime. Superwoman vibes, superwoman things. When I make it in life, when I blow, let nobody say that is it not my kind of yesterday? How did she get? I'm working overtime. I'm doing things. I'm going to edit this video and I'm going to post it in the next 2 hours. Can you do that? Can you do that? Is that beans? Anywho, serious YouTuber on point. I had already told myself that I am going to film, come rain, come sun. A video has to come out on Wednesday and on Sunday. And this week, you're going to get a cooking video on Friday. You guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I have been waiting for you all my life. The past 1 month, I have been waiting for you. Welcome. I am Makan Ekanem, like you already know, and I make vlogs. I love to watch vlogs. So I'm just like, why not? I love to cook, so I drop cooking content every Friday. And I also love to gist. My friends know I love to gist. I love to gist. You might call this amebo, but maybe like a revised form of, not even amebo. I just shall love to shalaye. I love to gist. I love to hear people's opinions. I love to argue. I love to argue, and I'm just like, why can't I translate that, like all the things I love, to a YouTube channel? And I'm here now. It's been 3 weeks and the love has been massive. Guys, if you're on my WhatsApp, if you're on my Instagram, you know how I keep saying I am grateful for the love. It has been mad. The love has been mad. You guys, please subscribe if you're new here. It's not going to hurt. It's free of charge. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. You will love me. I love you as well. Okay, we always gist in the comments. The comments is where the bedu is. Okay, so you guys, let's get right into this video. I don't have all day. I have to film this in 30 minutes and I have to edit this in the next 1 hour 30 minutes. So let's get right into this video. Disclaimer, don't mind the shadows, okay? It is just a reflection because I'm filming at 5 and the weather is weathering. Please watch this video and just get the message, okay? Let's just gist. This is basically like I'm your friend, I'm your guy, and we are chatting, we are gisting, we are bantering. And you can always come to the comment section and banter. I would respond to every single comment. What am I doing my time than responding to you, my friends? Okay, let's get right into this video. Like I said during Sunday's vlog, or on Sunday's vlog, we are going to be talking about childhood traumas, our parents' childhood, and just generally what we had to deal with as Nigerians living with our Nigerian parents. And yeah, just generally childhood. It's a very broad topic, and I'm going to try my best to streamline it. Every month, we just select a topic and we gist about it. So last month, it was about relationships. I'm going to link it in the description, the whole playlist. Please see it, please watch it. For this month, it's just generally childhood, surviving as an adult, growing up as a teenager, and just generally childhood and all the traumas that we had to deal with for some of us. And yeah, let's get right into this video. First of all, I'm going to start this video by saying it is worthy to note that I know that for the most part, our parents loved us. And I love to share my personal story, so I might go a lot personal because this is a topic that is very sensitive and is very dear to my heart. And I want to put out this disclaimer. If you're watching this video, know that my parents loved me. I am sure that my parents loved me. Your parents that did some certain things that they did that out of love, in quotes, quote unquote. This is not disputing the fact that some parents are actually outrightly wicked. I'm so sorry to say that, but like it is facts, okay? But my own parents, and for some of us that might still feel hurt, that might still be carrying trauma around, our parents loved us and they still do love us, and we love them as well. But this video is just basically talking about these things and just finding solace and just talking about the way forward. As parents, if you're watching this, if you're a parent and you clicked on this video, if you're a child and you clicked on this video, it means that you are either dealing with childhood trauma or there's just something that you want to get from this video. And we are going to get right into every single one of them. So that disclaimer is out there, okay? The second disclaimer I'm going to give is the fact that the times have changed, right? Growing up for them was different than growing up for us, right? Social media, as people would say, is a very huge factor. Just growing up, the general outlook of everything, there was not much civilization in their time as compared to our time. We are more liberal than they were. So I'm just going to put that out there. I recognize that. I know that. These are the two disclaimers for every single story that I want to tell and I want to share. So follow me along. And another thing I'm going to beg is please listen to understand and don't listen to respond. Don't listen to argue. Try to listen to understand where I'm coming from and to understand where people in the comment section will be coming from. And it might happen that you're very privileged. You're from a privileged home, that your parents were civilized, right? Quote unquote. My parents went to school. So when you hear me say civilization, it's not just about going to the university. General civilization of how the world works now and how everything works now, right? So yeah, you might just have been privileged that your parents, had it better than some of us, than the rest of us. Okay, so let's just get right into this video. I had to put all this disclaimer out there before people will come for me. So growing up for me, I was a very quiet child. Typically not how I was growing up right now. I was always to myself. Growing up for me was just me discovering myself every single day. I still own this diary. I'm going to bring it out and read like a few pages because I flipped through it before I made this video. I didn't have a lot of friends. I just had 2 friends or so in primary school. You will not hear my voice. When school is done, I will not even go to the playing ground. I never played in the playing ground ever in my life. I was that prim and proper kid. I was that prim and proper child. The only time you're going to hear my voice is when we have end of the year party and I'm supposed to do newscasting, I'm supposed to act drama. I was a different human being. Like it was like I was always in a bubble of like I was always in a bubble during those periods of time. It was like I was a different person. You would not recognize the Macan of acting or the Macan of newscasting. You couldn't, there was no sync. It was like this was an escape for me. So I would participate in that and you would not hear my voice after that. So I was pretty much that type of child. So if you knew me in primary school, you would probably not be able to like sync the Macan of right now. Shout out to my primary school guys. Anywho, that was basically me. I was always the child that was always observing. I was observing my parents, I was observing my siblings, I was observing everything. I observed people to a point, to a fault where I would literally like complete your statements. Like in my mind, I'll be like, oh, mommy will say this about the situation. Oh, daddy's going to say this about the situation. I lost my sister when I was younger, and my mom was a bit away. My mom wasn't really herself for like my formative years, but she was still a very good mother, right? I lost my sister when I was 6 years old, but that is by the way. I'm just trying to give you like a picture of how I grew up to form how my life got to be. I entered secondary school. I pretty much knew what I wanted to be in life. I wanted to be a lawyer. I was very good with words, art. I just really loved it. It was so beautiful. And at that time in secondary school, I represented my school in different competitions. I was one of the smart, students. I was always, fun facts, I'm a very shy person. But once I get the microphone, it's over for everybody. That's just how I grew up. And people are people can pick it on very easily, no matter how much I try to shy away from it. And this story is just to tell you that I was art oriented. I grew up in a house where when you hear my father coming, everybody runs to their room. And that's just how I grew up. Like it was basically like my father wanted you to be perfect. Like, and we were not giving him that perfect life. We're all children, obviously. And that is just one point. If you're a parent listening to this, your children cannot be perfect. It's not possible. That is why we are children anyway. But like that is not even the crux of this conversation. Now, in my JSS 3, they announced to us that, oh, we are going to have to pick the course we want to the route we want to take, if it is science, if it is art, if it is social sciences, whatever route you want to go, you have to come with your parents and discuss, your route. And we're supposed to be the first set that we're going to start from SS1 to pick, because normally you have to do everything in SS1, then you in SS2 you now wrap it up. So basically, I already knew what I wanted to be. In fact, every single person could already guess in JS. It was not a question. It was like, we know where Makan is going to, because she's almost the only junior going with seniors for competitions. Came back home and it was a cause of discussion. My parents woke me up. Oh, we had this. They gave us a form to fill. Parents were basically saying the world is science. I had no objections to that, but I just knew that even beyond being a lawyer, I knew that I could function well with arts. I knew that I was art myself. I knew that I had a way with writing. I just knew what I really wanted, and science was not it. I was a very smart kid, let's not lie, let's not steal, but science was not it for me. I was a very strong-willed child. Day for us to actually go and get my books, because in my school you have to pay for your books and then go and pick it up before school starts. My dad told me to bring the form. I had already filled the form. I'd already filled the form for all my courses. I already picked the selective courses. I was already done. And he just told me, go back inside, bring Tipex. And I just stood there and I asked for what? And he said, oh, you're going to do science. If you're not going to do science, you're going to have to pay your fees on your own. I can still remember how I felt. I can still remember I wore yellow. I and my mom wore yellow that day. We had put our hair up in a bun. We made the same hairstyle. And I turned to my mom and looked to my mom and waited for my mom to say something. And I did not hear anything from my mom. I know how I felt so helpless. I felt so helpless. I felt so... It's the only feeling I can describe is helpless. I can still remember it like yesterday. It was horrible. I can still remember the drive. At some point, it got so messy because I was in I had a whole episode with my dad. I can remember talking to him and saying, I really want to do this. I know that I am going to excel in this. My dad is like, how many lawyers are making? And I'm like, I don't care about the law. I can remember saying, I don't really care about the law. I know that I am so good in art. I know that I am so good. I can express myself properly. And my tie also had that I am so like, I was such a smart kid that I could think like an 18-year-old when I was 13. So I just told him, it's not about the law. Like, even because my dad was like, okay, how many lawyers are making it right now? I was like, it's not about the law. Like, I can express myself with art. Art is beautiful. Art is this. I can remember the whole back and forth. And my mom, being my mom, she just excluded herself and went to bed. She didn't follow us again. I can remember the drive to school. I remember it's like yesterday, and it was so horrible, guys. I kept crying and crying and crying. Once I reached school, I went into the arms of my teacher. I told my teacher, this is it, this is that. And my dad told my teacher that if he wants to sponsor me, he can sponsor me, but he's not sponsoring anybody that is doing art. And that was the first time I felt not supported. That was the first time I felt hurt. I went ahead to do sciences. And it was compulsory. I studied medicine, extreme lines. It's not just that the world is science and you can go ahead to do anything that you want to do in the science field. It is that the world is science and you have to do medicine and surgery, and you have to do medicine and surgery in the same school that your uncle did medicine and surgery. Because my mom's sibling is a medical doctor and he went to University of Calabar in Nigeria. And it was just that I should follow that same pattern. So the only school I am permitted to go to is University of Calabar. And the only course I'm permitted to study with my science result is medicine and surgery. I passed. Funny how I passed, I excelled properly in my science classes. I did well. With all of this, I was the only science student that was always going for art competitions in Rayfield Secondary School. I can remember how my friends would speak to me. Are you okay? Are you comfortable? I can remember how people trolled me in school that I was following my best friend to do sciences, a whole lot of back and forth. But I needed support from my parents, and I never got it. I was never given the willpower to choose. My dad didn't listen to me. My mom just went to bed, and I felt helpless. And obviously, I couldn't pay my school fees, right? I came out from secondary school. I was supposed to go to university. In fact, I made this whole plan in my head. It's crazy. I made this whole plan of I'm going to finish from medicine and surgery. I was 16 at the time. So from 16, I'll study till 22 years. Laughing in strike. Laughing in Nigerian university, Nigerian government. Now I'm going to finish my schooling when I'm 22 years of age. Obviously, like 7 years in medical school, and then from there I will come to my dad's room and drop and tell him, see your certificate here, I'm done now, and I'll go and study what I want to study. Jam did not give me admission. First year, the second year, I think it was the third year that I had an admission to study physiotherapy. I went to the University of Calabar, the same university, because I was supposed to apply to the University of Calabar gives me admission. And they did not like me. They did not like my name. They did not give me admission. Bottom line is, I got to physiotherapy and my dad did not agree to me studying physiotherapy. He said no, it must be medicine and surgery. So he wasn't the one paying my fees. It was now my mom that was now tired of me always applying for medicine and surgery and not getting in that began to talk to me. Thinking about it and remembering it brings a lot of hurt, how I have suffered for this thing and I couldn't get it. And it almost was like I was a disappointment. You can do this thing. It was almost as if, at some point, it became as if I knew I had to pass JAM and I wasn't just passing this. Because at that point, they needed like 320. And what was I getting? Like 250, 210, 245, maybe. I did not get beyond 250 something. And they were not giving me admission, but my father thought it was my fault. He wasn't speaking to me. He still said I should apply again for medicine and surgery, and I was not getting it. I came back home and I told my mom, I'm not going to continue this anymore. I am going to go back to school and I'm going to do what exactly I wanted to do. I took that bold step. I cut my hair. I wrote WAEC again. So currently, I actually have 3 WAECs. This whole physiotherapy thing did not work out. The course was not accredited. A lot of things happened. I decided to start a business whilst waiting for my WAEC to come out. I began a business. Those of you that know me know me. Thank you guys for patronizing me, because you guys are the real deal. I made a lot of money from that business. I made a lot of customers. I began this business, and before I began this business, I had already told my mom, I'm staying at home. I'm not doing anything at home. Can I go and learn how to bake? My mom agreed to the idea. She felt it was a nice idea. And my dad just came the day I was supposed to leave and said, "Oh no, she's not meant to mingle with adults. They might corrupt her. Let her go to a computer class that is just close." I wasn't learning. I wasn't learning jack. So during the time I was waiting for my wife to come out, I went to stay with my auntie, and it was then that I told my auntie, "Need so and so. Can we keep this a secret? I don't want mommy and daddy to know," because nobody was going to support me. I was literally living my life in fear, literally. And this is my point. Your children should be able to speak to you. Your children should be able to talk to you about things. Your children should be able to come to you and say, "I think I want to do this for my life. I think you should do this. I think you should do that," instead. Because give them a because at this point I was already like 18 years of age. I did not understand how I should just be preparing for jam throughout January, February, March, like throughout the year, waiting for another jam just for medicine and surgery. It did not make sense to me. I did not feel fulfillment. I wasn't even getting money. I was just living in my auntie's house just because they wanted me to leave the house and, just stay with somebody, be away from home, sort of, in quote unquote. Those of you that actually did not get admission after jam, you get that whole fees. I just learned something, and it was just like, all you have to do right now is to read your books, is to read your books, is to read your books. I had to talk to my auntie, and my auntie now agreed that she was not going to cast. She wasn't going to tell on me. I began my business during the COVID. After the COVID, my dad did not speak to me for a year because I went ahead to start a business, and I did not stay at home during the COVID. I'm not saying this to cast my dad. I love my dad so much. I love my dad. I am going to repeat it. I love my dad. But I still feel like the decisions that he made concerning me weren't very nice. The reason I actually wanted to start this series was because of some tweets that resurfaced when Tunde's dad said that parents should allow their children to follow their passion, their talent and stuff, and they should support them. And I 100% agree. And this is not just about talent alone. People can say, "Oh, education is the key. Our parents, all they knew was lawyers, medicine, medical students, all they knew was engineers and all that, whatnot." I'm talking about pure support. I'm talking about support of a parent. I'm talking about not raising your child in fear. I'm talking about having difficult conversations with your children, conversations surrounding sex, conversations surrounding childbirth, conversations surrounding adulthood, conversations that are telling them the truth while at it. How do parents move from oh, if a man sneezes on you, if a man just touches you, you get pregnant? How do they move from that slowly to, you are 25 years, where is your husband? Make it make sense. How are we just finding out on social media that you give birth and it is possible that you lose a tooth? That you give birth and it is possible that you lose your memory? I am finding that out on social media. My mom has not had that conversation with me. I have not heard that conversation from my aunties, from my uncles, from my dad. And I'll ask her, "Oh, did you experience this?" And she'll be like, "Oh, yes, I did." And I'm just like, okay, why didn't you come up and tell us these things actually happened? Like, that is it. Like, supporting when a child is of age. I want to ask you now, how did you find out about sex? Please put it in the comment section. How did you find out about sex? Because for me, I did not find out about sex from my dad. I didn't find out about sex from my mom. Nobody told me about sex. I knew about sex in biology class. Imagine I was physically abused. I did not know that, oh, my vagina is a personal private part. Nobody's meant to touch me. Nobody's meant to do this. God so blessed me, I wasn't raped. But I'm sure that for the most of us that are watching this video, we either found out through physical abuse, especially for the men, from a nanny, from aunties, from wherever. And our parents can actually tell us these things from the beginning. Oh, don't watch this content. Oh, don't consume this because it is not meant for your age. Oh, don't do this. Oh, don't do that because it is this. Sometimes, another point I want to make in this introductory video, because every single step of the way, I'm going to be telling my own personal story. Point is, say, for instance, our parents don't like that I dyed my hair. For them, they don't like it. And it is good. That is who you are. It is fine. That is your own makeup. You don't like my hair, and it's good. It's your own personal preference. But for some of us, rather than say, oh, I don't like that you tinted your hair, you're not meant to cut your hair as a girl, they would say, it is wrong. You shouldn't do that. You are wrong. You have sinned. And they take it out on you. Rather than, oh, I don't think at your age you should be dyeing your hair. I don't think it suits you to cut your hair. I don't like it personally. It's a different conversation than talking about things that are not fundamentally wrong as though they are wrong. Questioning your expression. They are parents for a reason, to guide us, to support us. Like I always said, like I was telling my friends that came into my DM when this was a whole conversation on my WhatsApp. Your parents are meant to guide you. Your parents are meant to support you. By the way, this another disclaimer: I have never been a parent. I'm just a parent by making this video. I'm just a parent by talking. True, 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 true. It might be different, but the because of this whole thing is being able to be there for your child, being able to support your child. Either it is by supporting their talents, either it is by supporting them even in like difficult scenarios, like even like just being a friend to your child. That is just it. Just being a friend, a good friend to your child. Just your child knowing that there's this safe place that I have, that no matter what, mom is there for me, dad is there for me. I can tell them anything. That wasn't the case for me. I couldn't tell my parents every and anything. I knew how my dad and my mom are going to react to some certain things. I knew how things would turn if at all I tell them exactly how I feel. I was literally living my life in fear. And this goes to show you that if you check your mates, they actually had self-confidence, had the I can do anything confidence. It was because their parents was there for them. Their parents told them, you can do anything, you can talk to me about anything, I can be there for you. I didn't get that assurance. So for the most part, most of these decisions I made on my own, I couldn't even express myself properly. I had to learn how to communicate as an adult. Literally, I had to learn communication as an adult just by listening to things on social media, just by communicating with my friends, just by my friends saying, oh, that's not how you say things, this is how you say things. I didn't get these things from my parents. And just imagine I was actually like in bad companies. Just imagine that I did not have sense. How would I have turned out? Now, there's those that I did not get admission. I wrote JAM for 5 different times. I wrote JAM 5 different times, and 4 out of those times, I wrote JAM for medicine and surgery. And I obviously did not get admission over and over again. There were times where I said, oh, daddy, I think I should go and change to medical laboratory science. Oh, I think I should go and change to pharmacy. Or I think I should change my university. But it was just a certain path that I had to follow. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. When I started my business, nobody could understand why. Why are you not reading your books? Why is not your books? Why is not your books? Why couldn't these things be regulated? Let's even leave my business. Let's talk about the boys that played football and got beatings every single day of their lives. Why couldn't it be like, oh, once you read your books and you're able to answer 10 out of 15 of my questions, or you're able to guess all the answers correctly, you can play football from 5 to 6. Why wasn't it that? People will say, oh, education is the key. I'm not arguing about that. Guess what? I still want to get my PhD. I still want to get to the highest level of my education. But the thing is, I still have passions I wanted to do. I still have things that I could have learned. Somebody said, oh, this business that you're talking about that you did, what if you never succeeded? Truth is, I've ended the business now. But did I feel good about doing the business? Yes. Can I put it as part of my regrets? Never. I did it. And if your child should fail at whatever they actually want to do for themselves, that is why you are a parent. You are there to guide. You are there to shield. You know that, okay, when they fail at it, let me fail at it. When they fail at it, there's a parent, there's my mom there to guide me. There's my dad there to take me back. There's a safe space. Even when the world fails me, even when my business fails me, even when my education fails me, there's a safe space. Parenthood is just basically support. In fact, I'm going to Google parenthood. My life could have still been like this if I still took that path that I wanted for myself. But guess what? I can never really find out. I can never really find out if I would have succeeded. I can never really find out if after secondary school I would have gotten admission into study law or to study whatever I chose to study, even if it's acting. I can never really know. But guess what? I have lost how many years of my life in search of school to admit me for medicine and surgery, in search of opportunities to study medicine and surgery, which was not even my dream in the first place. You would see people that love to read and their parents would tear their novels out. Their parents would not even say, okay, you can read your novels during the holidays. In my house, during the holidays, you're not meant to do anything than reading your books. You're not meant to play. You're not meant to socialize even with your siblings. The boys' room is different from the girls' room. Boys stay in their room, girls stay in their room. I was literally raised in fear, quote unquote. A parent is a father or a mother, one who begets or one who gives birth to or nurtures and raises a child, a relative who plays the role of a guardian. I love that word, a guardian. If you Google the meaning of a guardian, it means somebody that supports, somebody that is there, somebody that is always there for the child. I'm going to continue my personal story in the next episode. I just wanted to lay a foundation of how my life went. But for now, I'm going to put some tweets that I'm going to be reading from my phone on the screen for you guys to see how, like, stories that made me actually want to start this series. Let's go. My dad always stole my sketchbook anytime he saw me drawing. This is how Nigerian parents are. Let's excuse this on, wanting the best for the child. On to the next tweet. My dad beat football out of my entire life. Painful, but waiting man go do. Like I said again, why wasn't these things regulated? Why couldn't there be, once you're done eating, this is a routine for you? This is exactly how it is. Okay, you'll only be playing football around the compound where I can see you. You play it with a low tempo. Give them rules to follow. Your football time is 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. There was no regulation. It was just, you ain't going to play football. You ain't going to play football. My parents taunted me for cooking, attending to the guests, doing house chores, and being hospitable. They called it girly stuff. Fast forward to many years later, everything I did when I was little is what is putting food on my table today. Glad I was rebellious. This is from a guy that is a cook, is a chef, and the parents called what he was doing girly because it was just pretty much never seen that a man served guests. It just had to be a woman thing. Let's excuse that on civilization. Fair enough. He mentioned one key thing, rebellion, which is the last point I'm going to touch on in this video till next week. If to say my dad not hear my rap book, where I for day today, me and Big Kala for don't drop joint our wall. That's so funny. That was meant to make us laugh. Okay, another tweet. 6 years ago, I was going through mixed martial arts training. My coaches were so impressed and labeled me as ruthless and talented. After a couple of months, my mom said it's too risky and harmful to my health. Today, na me be this. If I want to talk about how many dreams my family members have had towards my life, just because I wanted to take certain decisions, and they're like, oh, I had a dream, and this, that, don't do it. Oh, I had a dream, you shouldn't go to baking, or it is just like you'll be corrupted. Let's go. Another one, my dad discouraged me from studying computer science in university. I spent 6 years doing a course I had no passion for. I'm currently in tech now, but it's sad when folks don't give you the support you want. That is basically what I said. If you're a parent listening to this right now, please, or if you're a parent to be, if you actually want to be a parent, please just be your child's friend. Imagine your friend coming to you and saying, oh, I want to be a computer scientist. Or what do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? And the next thing you're saying is, no, don't do that. Go and do this. And without any reason. Another tweet. There is this little anger in me watching this. I love to write a lot. And they took away my art stuff. And now I'm studying engineering. I feel like I have made the biggest mistake of my life. And I will live in silence every day. On to the next. All of you bashing your parents are foolish. You expect a family that's not rich and connected to bank their son's life in on chess? Because this was made from Tunde's dad, Tunde Onokoya, the guy that broke the Guinness World Record for the chess marathon. So this is it. Nobody said education is bad. Nobody said Tunde would have broken the world record. No, what if Tunde played chess and still remained in wherever he remained in and nobody knew him? Nobody's saying that. People are just saying, imagine a parent, imagine you as a parent, you have a dream, and then there is somebody that is there and destroying that dream. How would you feel? How would you feel? This is the same thing. Oh, children are not human beings as well. Is that the excuse? Like, children are not human beings. We are humans, we are flesh, we are blood. We have things that we like. We have things that we want for ourselves. Maybe some people don't know. Some people don't know till they are of age. Me, I knew what I wanted from the get-go. There are people that know what they want from the get-go. Just guide us. If you think it's not the wisest decision, if you think that it's not the best decision, at the moment, guide the child. Guiding is different from taunting the child. It's different from tearing the child's way of expressing themselves. It's different from rebuking the child because what you feel is ultimate, is just all that should be. There is a difference. If you're a parent listening to this, if you're a child dealing with children trauma, just comment under the stories. Let other people see. Let other parents that come here see what we as adults of the 21st century literally have gone through. This one really hurts me. I know been one talk, but it no spoil. When I was 15, I got scouted to play for a team in Melbourne, Australia. 2 weeks before I left for Melbourne, one fateful Sunday morning, my mom came home from church and was yelling at me, so I hissed at her. Very wrong. Very, very wrong. She became furious. Typical African mother. Then she started yelling, is it because you want to go abroad now that you are hissing at me? Come and go now, let me see. I have to tame you before you become untamable. She stormed into my room and took my travel documents, my jersey, my boots that I bought in Nigeria and boxes. She took kerosene and matches, went to the backyard and set everything ablaze. Immediately she lit the fire and threw it in. Her eyes cleared. I was only able to recover my international passport. I don't know if she I don't know if she regrets it, but my life could have changed for good if not for her anger. I'm not saying this to pile on my ma or anything, but it changed the trajectory of my life. She has apologized and is still apologizing, and I do not love her any less. I just hope I win big with something else because the suffering that act has put me through can't be explained. You guys, somebody hissed. You couldn't beat the person. You couldn't ground the person. You couldn't starve the person. Let's leave it at that. No, that's it. I can't stay in my parents' house for more than 24 hours. Bad memories, bad energy, bad vibes. Too many Nigerians in their 20s and 30s are walking around with childhood trauma. Even though we love and forgive them, the trauma stays. The reminder of how better they could have handled it, how much it has subconsciously affected interaction with others, how much it hurts. The confidence level, if I could believe that I could do anything I want to do, I had to train myself. I had to train my thoughts. This is me personally. I had to train myself that Makan, you can do anything you want to do. Whatever you put your mind to do, this confidence that you see me exhibiting from the camera, I had to literally give myself pep talks. You can do it. What can't you do? God created you. It was pep talks for over like years. People don't believe that my self-esteem was down. It was just because I was fronting. My self-esteem was crushed because I felt like whatever I bring up to do, I just couldn't do them because I was helpless. I was in a helpless situation. If you see people that could do some certain things, not even breaking things, that people that just are just confident, people that are just like, I can do that now. Even when in reality, they cannot even do it. Their parents were behind them. Their parents had their back 100%. 100. And that's just what parenthood should be. Say, for instance, I still wrote jam for 7 times whilst waiting for admission for any art course I would have chosen, anything at all. I feel like I would still be happy writing that jam. I would still be happy knowing that it was my dream. And even if my dream changes, I know that I had the support of and love of my amazing family. Does that make sense? This is now a comment on Diary of a Niger Girl's page, what people had to say. My father didn't speak to me for 10 years because I did not study law. I will never forget the emotional trauma that I had to endure growing up. He never apologized. He never saw any wrong in his actions. I was emotionally manipulated to even apologize to him to attend my wedding, which he never did. I forgave him and moved on with my life because how long will you endure that level of emotional pain? We spoke on and off for years before he passed away last month. Do you guys know what 10 years is? 10 years is I would give birth and the child will be 10 years old. 10 years means I was 28 and I am now 38. 10 years mean I was 10 and I am now 20. Guys, come on. This lady probably left school when she was 18, 16, and she did not study law. It might even be that she did not choose not to study law. It might just be that JAM did not give her admission like my case. And my dad refused to pay my school fees. And she also refused to the father refused to talk to her for 10 years. I feel like that one is basically not human. Like, this is not a character that a human should exhibit. That is cruel. No disrespect to the dead, no disrespect to her dad. But I feel like if I do that to my child as a parent, I have failed in the divine assignment of being a parent. I shouldn't have brought her anyway to the world. She even went as far as apologizing. Do you know what it means for a man to come to marry you and your father is not present? Meaning he did not take the bride price. Meaning he was not present during the wedding. Do you know how many chances? Do you know how many men could have left? Do you know the emotional trauma? It means that she could probably have been 18 and all through her formative years of trying to navigate adulthood, her father was not in the picture and he was not dead as well. Do you know how many milestones she probably wanted to share with her that I couldn't share? I'm going to leave you guys with this. And this is going to be the next topic. It is the way out of this thing, actually standing your ground with your parents. And that is true rebellion. I rebelled. The day that I had to pay for my GCE was the day that I made a decision to live, like to live my life for myself, to live my life fully and make decisions for myself fully. Till today, I inform my parents of whatever decision I want to take. And I inform them with, I'm already doing this, I'm already doing that. And I am also trying my possible best to be morally upright in the sense that I'm not going to do anything that I feel is fundamentally wrong. I have Christ in me. Honest, our parents failed at most things. And this is aside parenthood. Some of our parents are still failing at their jobs. Some of our parents are still failing at like basic things. But you know the thing, they pick themselves up. And I have made that decision fundamentally that, okay, whatever I want to do with my life, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And through rebellion, and that's going to be our next topic, okay? I'm not asking you to go and rebel against your parents in the sense of, I quit, I'm not your child. They're your parents. What can you really do, right? That's going to be our next topic for next week. Till then, I love you so much. I hope you take all I have said with a pinch of salt because it wasn't meant to tell you that your parents are wicked, or it wasn't meant to inform parents that, oh, you guys are wicked people, or whatever. It was just my experience. It was just the reality of most people. It was just the situation that most people found themselves in as children of certain people, quote unquote. People couldn't live their full expression. People couldn't get support. People came back home from wherever they were heading to because somebody had a dream somewhere. People got married to people that they wouldn't have gotten married to just because their biological clock was ticking in their parents' dictionary, and so they had to bring a husband. People couldn't experience life to the fullest or haven't experienced life to the fullest. People are living with forever regrets. People never got to experience some certain things that could have changed their lives. Whether or not it could have changed their life, who knows? I'm just going to leave you with this to ponder on, like, and to comment as well. What was your experience growing up? What things did you have to forfeit as a child because your parents wouldn't let you? What are the advice that you give to a parent today, like that is watching this, that is about to be a parent, so a couple that is watching this, that is about to raise their child, what advice would you give them? For me, it is simple: be your friend, your child's friend. There's no handbook for being a parent, for being a good parent, for being a perfect parent. But all I can say is, if there were things that happened in my life that were dangerous, I doubt my parents will know first. I think my friends will know first. And that is a very bad thing to say. That is a very bad way to think about. There are still things that have happened to me that my parents don't have any idea. And this is an aside. I and my dad are trying to build a relationship now. I and my mom are trying to build a relationship now. But it's not going to feel the same as building that relationship right from when the child is young. Okay. I hope you watch this video to the end. If you watch this video to the end, please like, please share, please comment. I know that this video was all over the place. It was raining. A lot of things were happening in the background, but I'm happy I still filmed it. I'm going to try as much as possible now to edit. This is currently 17:59. Can you see? 17:59. I'm going to try my possible best to edit this in 1 hour, and I'll get this out. I know that it was all over the place. I promise you, next week's one is going to be much better, much informative, much educating. And I just want to chat. I want to chat with you guys on WhatsApp, on Instagram, or here on YouTube. Just tell me, like, what do you think about this topic? I know that it's a very sensitive topic, and it's very sensitive to call out your parents. It's sensitive to, speak in this capacity about your parents, people that actually love you, that want the best for you, but they're just acting based off of what they did, what was available for them with the resources and the ideas that they had at the time. What do you guys think? See you guys by 7. I hope you guys watch. I hope people like. I hope you guys comment. I hope you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. Watch out for part 2. I have 3 more episodes to go. I love you. I love you so much. Mwah.